Hello, everybody. My name's Josh Eakle. I'm the president of Project Liberal Foundation and the executive director of Project Liberal Action. And I'm here today to ask you three questions. I think that based on your answers to these three questions, you can define which political coalition you're in. So question number one, is your identity something that you inherit, or do you think it's something that you create? Number two, should we close ourselves off to the world for stability purposes, or should we be open to the world? The third question, does change and dynamism, does it inspire you or does it scare you? And I would say based on your answer to these three questions, I can define exactly what side of the aisle you're on today. So if you said that your identity is something that you create, if you said that we should be open to the world, and if you said that change inspires you, then you are not just an optimistic dreamer. You're a liberal in the deepest, most philosophical sense of the word. And liberalism, this is not a partisan label. This is not just kind of a left or a right label. It's somebody who believes in human dignity, in progress, in pluralism, and basically in freedom. And the liberal sensibility, that's something, that sensibility and that value set is something that built the modern world. I mean, it dismantled kings and empires, it ended slavery, it empowered women, it defeated fascism, it brought down the Berlin Wall, it connected billions through trade, through technology, through ideas. But today, that tradition is under attack. And it's not under attack by the same old Republican coalition that maybe your parents grew up with or that you were used to when you were younger. There are new political coalitions forming. And we're in the middle of a political realignment. These really only happen once a generation. And so the new coalitions that make up our political system cannot be defined as just simply left versus right. It's a coalition of people who are open to the world versus people who want to close the world out. I mean, it's a coalition of people who believe in freedom versus people who want hierarchy. It's a liberal versus authoritarian coalition. Those are the two poles in American society. And authoritarianism is a very old instinct. I mean, the MAGA movement did not create authoritarianism. It's simply just been its loudest megaphone in the current era. And it's obviously not alone. Like across the world, there are authoritarian movements rising, strong men, culture warriors. And what they do, they preach fear, they preach control, they preach this single vision of identity, this prescribed identity. They tell people all your problems can be solved. All you have to do is trust the leader. You have to silence dissent. You have to fear the other, the outsider, the immigrant, whatever that may be. And this impulse, the authoritarian impulse, which is also the MAGA impulse, this is not an ideological impulse. This is not an ideological movement. It's a psychological impulse. These people in the authoritarian coalition, they seek simplicity in a complex world. And authoritarians know this. They seduce us with order when we feel chaos. They disguise submission as safety. And they blame liberalism for all the problems of the modern era. But the truth is not that simple. It's not liberalism that failed us. In many cases, it's because we stopped defending liberalism. It's because we did not fully realize liberal values in our institutions and in modern life. And in light of this political realignment that's happening, we're kind of faced with a crisis. So the old institutions, the political parties in many cases, the think tanks, the advocacy groups, these were all built during a different era. They were built during a different time for a different set of issues. They were built before we had an authoritarian leader as a leader of the other major opposition party. And so what you find, and I know this frustration because I feel it myself, is that a lot of these institutions or these parties, they have been captured. Some of them have been corrupted. Many of the parties are paralyzed. They don't know how to respond in this moment. And meanwhile, While this paralysis plays out, the authoritarians are organizing. They're building media machines. They're taking over local parties. They're infiltrating elections and the mechanisms around how our elections work. They are not waiting to act. And in response, we cannot be waiting. We cannot be paralyzed. So, as it was in the past, the future of liberal democracy is not guaranteed. There is no silver bullet to this challenge. It's going to be a fight. And it's always been a fight. From the Civil War to the Civil Rights Movement, even to the American Revolution. I mean, those who believed in liberal values never stood unopposed. And so that's why I'm here today, to energize you, to invite you, to challenge you to pick up that banner, to define yourself as a liberal, and not to wait around. I mean, don't wait for the old institutions to get it right. Build new institutions. Don't wait for the perfect coalition to form or the right volunteer to come around. Forge new coalitions. Recruit new volunteers. Don't wait for permission from people above you to lead and try to drive change, because we cannot wait. The future of our democracy depends on what we do in the next several months. And so let's go out and do it. Let's build something worthy of the American promise, the liberal values that built this country, and let's remind people what liberalism has achieved and what it could become, what a liberal society could become if liberal values were fully realized. Have a wonderful conference, everybody, and thanks for inviting me.